There have been calls for Sinn Féin not to run its own candidate in the upcoming presidential election, but to instead row in behind the left-leaning alliance backing Catherine Connolly. Well, Sinn Féin's stance on the race for the Áras still isn't clear. Our political correspondent Gavin Riley has more on this and joins us now. Pressure, Gavin, coming on Sinn Féin to lay out its position, but it's coming from outside the party.
Yeah, that's right, and it's coming today in particular from People Before Profit, because they believe that the chance of their preferred candidate, Catherine Connolly, ultimately prevailing in the race would be improved if Sinn Féin weren't also fielding their own candidate in the mix. Now, conventional thinking is that Catherine Connolly and a prospective Sinn Féin candidate, whether that be Mary Lou McDonald, Michelle O'Neill, Rose Conway-Walsh, John Finucane or anyone else, might possibly be fishing for the same pool of votes, those voters who are disaffected with the establishment or are unhappy with the direction of government and want to use the referendum as something of a protest against the present coalition. But the argument coming from People Before Profit today is that if you look at the opinion polls over the last number of months, even those that do include a hypothetical Sinn Féin candidate, they believe that Catherine Connolly is the more popular candidate, and they believe that the best chance of keeping the Áras outside of the coalition's hands is by unifying behind that one candidate.
Obviously that's, a decision that Mary Lou and Sinn Féin are going to weigh up. So certainly she'd be a very, very credible candidate with a chance. But I do think the polls confirm that Catherine is the best positioned progressive left candidate who has the best chance of stopping Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael, probably Fine Gael, taking back Áras an unclear.
Now, although there is a little bit of a health warning about opinion polls that have been conducted so far, given that the campaign has not yet kicked off and we don't yet fully know the slate of candidates, it is worth pointing out that the most recent opinion poll, published in last Sunday's Sunday Independent, does show that Catherine Connolly would, at this point, be marginally more popular than Mary Lou McDonald, were she to be the Sinn Féin candidate. The most recent poll had Catherine Connolly at 18% and Mary Lou McDonald, who of course we don't know whether be a candidate or not, at 14%. So the argument being put forward by People Before Profit on that basis is that there is more of an appetite for Catherine Connolly's candidacy than that coming from Sinn Féin, and they believe that the best chance of keeping the Áras outside of the hands of Fianna Fáil or Fine Gael is to unite behind Catherine Connolly's candidacy. We don't yet know exactly when Sinn Féin is going to lay out its stance, whether it's going to back Catherine Connolly or choose to run its own internal candidate, or indeed how it might choose that internal candidate. But Piers Doherty did tell Virgin Media News yesterday that it is still a matter that is still under active consideration and that the party will make its position known in due course.